Shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 109. Or is it 109? 1 week left to find out, folks. We'll find out, because 110 is how you actually say that. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing up there? Did you have a good time last week? Could you see us last week? I'm sorry about the lighting. It was fucked. Totally my bad. I just wanted to jump right into the Jack Daniels. Who could blame me? Look at me. I mean, sick as fuck right now. I literally haven't left the house since the last episode. So for those of you keeping score at home, that's 6 days ago. And pretty fucking sick. Don't really feel very good. But hey, this is the internet. It's on forever. So why don't we just capture this for posterity? Why don't we just keep it going? See what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a fantastic day. To my immediate right, we have our ever-present co-host, Michael Saavedra. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. We also have the glorious, the carnivorous Chris Martin, a.k.a. C-Mart. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. How you doing, sir?
Good. Yeah.
Doing pretty good. And our guest today is fantastic, but we're going to leave you just hanging. You probably already know, though, because you read the episode description. Who just randomly clicks links nowadays? God damn, your time's valuable, isn't it?
Apparently lots of people, because there's a lot of dumb shit out there.
Let's just bring his name up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the goddamn show, the loose cannon, Kenny Lush. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing, sir?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
That was a big round of applause we just gave you there.
I didn't know what was happening.
From a sick man?
Yeah.
That was a good round of applause.
I didn't want to touch you. I know you have to do a bunch of athletic things this week.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Before we get going, though, we should probably let our listeners and our viewers...
let people know. Yeah.
Probably let them know about the greatest opportunity they can do right now. Now, it might sound like I'm sick and not putting in effort, but believe you me, we've been doing this for a while. If you've already been listening for a while, you already know what we're about to talk to. Fuck, see how sick I am? Can't even get my thoughts straight.
All right.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you're listening to this at home, we want to tell you about the greatest opportunity you can have with an isolation tank experience. And you know what the premier isolation tank experience in the Lower Mainland is? It's Float House. What is the website, Saavedra?
Floathouse.ca.
Floathouse.ca is where you want to go. And what is our podcast promo code?
II Podcast.
That's right. And our podcast promo code gets you 20% off your next float. Now, some of you are at home right now watching, listening. Maybe you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life and your weekend. You know what a good start is, Saavedra?
A little bit of a float.
That's right. You want to get yourself in the right state of mind to make those decisions. I like it because personally it's a super clean environment. You get your own tank, you get your own shower, you get your own house coat, you get your own towel set up. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. You got a lot of knowledgeable, intellectual, smart people around here. And most of all, it's like a spa for your mind. I personally love it. I float. We float here. Kenny,
the first time, our guest is a member.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Float House.
Kenny Lush, ladies and gentlemen, to our immediate front here is a card-carrying member. And that's fantastic because floating is amazing. How do you like float? How long have you been floating now?
I've been floating since this place basically opened.
Before this side was even built?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. I'm actually an atheist, but I believe everything that Joe Rogan says is true. So
Church of Rogue.
When this place opened, I was pretty stoked to try out floating. And I could honestly say I just got back from Australia and the jet lag was like mad killing me.
Atrocious.
Yeah, but coming in, like floating totally helps with that. It
Really?
kind of reset me and everything, and I felt better after floating.
What do you call it? Your circadian rhythm? Is that it?
I guess. I don't know what circadian means.
Dude, I'm just throwing out words I overheard.
Yeah. But no, floating rules.
Yeah. Right on,
awesome.
man. That's sweet.
Yeah, floating is pretty rad. I like it, because, as I said in that little pseudo ad we just gave there, I like it for those reasons. But I also like it because it's one of the few times I can just, like, shut off. I don't have to be aware of anything. I don't have to, like, answer the phone. I don't have to, like, I just don't have to be anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to dive into the mysteries of the universe like that and try and unlock them.
Is that a pun?
Dive into
water thing.
If you dive into that tank, you're gonna have.
By the way, I like
time.
the idea of not having your own tank. You're like, oh, you get your own tank. Like, can you imagine if it was like always communal floating? You just had like a big pool. You just like bumping up against each other. Like,
so you
Just
be
like an orgy of
yeah, something.
So C-Mart, you know, you're just like having your debut float time, and you're just like, wow, this is so relaxing. Look at this, it's nothingness. I'm gonna start thinking about my childhood, and suddenly you feel light fingertips brush yours, and it's Kenny, the loose cannon, Lush, just letting you know he's there in the tank.
I got salt in my eye.
Is that a thing? Does that happen?
I'm sure I've heard of couples tanks. Yeah, there's like
There is couples tanks. Yeah.
No, I meant salt in your eye, but that's also interesting.
Sometimes I itch my eyebrow and then I get the little salt.
Oh,
in my
okay.
eye.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you're supposed to properly clean your face. They give you a whole little itinerary and what is it? Itinerary? No.
Well, instructions. There's
Orientation.
instructions in there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Instructions. But enough of instructions. God damn. You're already relaxed right now. Are you going for a float today after the show?
No, I gotta go to the gym and try to it's a few days before a show. I gotta wrestle Friday and Saturday, so mentally I figure if I do like 45 minutes of cardio, it'll make a giant difference when I'm wearing my tights.
Got to yoke up, cardio out.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. That's basically how I handle my fitness, as you can tell. Just okay, well, first of all, we should address this. So you're a professional wrestler. You've been wrestling for a little while now, but you also have a background in music.
Yeah.
And that background, as I understand, via social media, has recently been relit for you.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
What's going on with that? What made you throw your
first-
hat back in the goddamn ring?
Well, I was in a band called Daggermouth.
That's
and
right.
We started like 2004.
I should have introed that.
Till about 2008. And then we broke up, and it was like that typical, like, you probably make a movie how we broke up. Like, singer had nervous breakdown. We all hated each other.
Oh, wow.
You know, all that. And as years went on, I think the singer still hates all of us. But over the years, we've had,
like really
you know.
hates? Like, or
I think so. He's a little cranky.
I see. Or just
I shouldn't
cranky.
say
Classic
cranky.
singer.
Yeah.
Classic singer.
Vocalists.
But yeah, anyways, make a long story short, like over the last couple of years, we've always kind of had offers to like do little things and tours, like, you know, like festivals in Indonesia and stuff. And it's never panned out. And we're always like, fuck you. And I don't know, just over like 8, you know, time heals everything.
Definitely.
Unless you're a singer. So, yeah, we actually had our first practice on Saturday there. Our drummer flew in from Winnipeg. And
Where are you jamming?
Same lineup?
Clark in second. My buddy Tom and Chris have like a jam space
Nice.
area and stuff.
So are you like, is this a new lineup, new group? Or are you resuscitating?
Stu, who played Stu McKillop, who he actually has he runs Rain City Recordings now.
I have many times on the show talked about how much I love RCR. Those guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're
Him and Jesse are very talented producers.
yeah, for sure. So Stu played guitar, but now he sings in a band called Youth Decay, and he's a really good singer. He's fucking super talented. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he's going to sing, and we got Stu Ross, who plays in a band called Comeback Kid. Yeah. And he's going to play guitar.
Familiar? Yeah.
Yeah. And Comeback Kid's my entrance music. Too.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Everything goes full circle.
2 stews, that's rare.
Yeah.
Real stew going on.
Yeah.
Don't, boys. Don't.
So yeah, we had our first jam. We'll see what happens. You know, we're just kind of
That's
throwing
pretty
it
cool.
out there. Yeah.
How did it feel? Because I think you said it was been about 8 years, right?
Yeah.
How did that feel first time? Sure, I mean, first time you slang the strap around your shoulder, you're like, oh fuck, we're really doing this.
Yeah. Well, they all still play music. All those guys are in, like, bands and shit.
Yeah, but you like
I'm a wrestler.
how did you like? How did that feel? Flicking on the amps.
It was rad.
It's a good
I was
feeling,
super
right?
Stoked, yeah. You know, and I don't know, it's just good to like those guys are like my brothers, you know? Like, of course I hated them when the band broke up, but it's like, you know, you can't spend 4 or 5 years, 8 to 9 months a year in a van with someone and
That's
not
right.
love them, you know?
Yeah.
So it was good to like be back in the room with those guys. And,
Yeah, you forget it pretty quickly as soon as like the first chord hits. You're right back in.
yeah,
You're
it's
right back
weird.
in.
Like songs, like I was trying, like, fuck, there's no way I'll remember this song, no way. And then like the minute the drums hit, I was just like, burner, like it's like, oh, it all came back to me. It was rad. So,
That's cool because like a lot of the muscle memory associated with that type of thing is so just the definition of that. It's muscle memory. Like you're just going like. I don't know about you, but sometimes songs I haven't played in a long, long time, I'll almost like have to not watch myself do it to remember. You know what I mean? Like if it's almost like if you pay too much attention to an old song that you don't remember, that you might actually like over play it or overthink it or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's beautiful though, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, what the fuck? Where was that hanging out in the recesses of my mind? Like just been sitting there for fucking years and you don't even know about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think we were talking recently on the show, maybe not even that recently, but we have talked within the last 10, 12 episodes, we were talking about like that band dynamic that you can have with a group of guys where you have like you said, like you can't, like for most people right now, if you're not a touring musician, you're probably jamming 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah,
you know,
if that.
You get a couple hours in that, you know, however long your jams are, and then you go back to your regular life. You reset and you like do all the other things, and then you know, music's kind of like pulling you back and forth between those two dynamics. And when you go on tour, like you said, you're with these people all the fucking time. You're no longer surrounded by your loved ones. You can't decompress. You have to just like put up with these people. Like that's why a lot of these shelf life of bands is like, you know, 4 or 5 years, 5, 6 years. Like that's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
On the road. Like it's a long time. But I guess what I'm getting at is with respect to professional wrestling and the traveling that's involved there, the camaraderie that goes along with that, because there's so much more of an inherent trust within that industry. How do you find the difference working one industry to the other in terms of like working within a team dynamic? How do you feel like that works?
You know, I think it's like, you know, to me it's almost the same. Like what, you know, if you're doing a tour and usually like your band's toured up with a couple other bands and you're doing a big package tour or something for a few months, you know, you all end up melding together. And it's kind of the same thing. Like when I go, you know, recently I've been doing stuff with Ring of Honor and stuff. And after 1 or 2 days on the road with those guys, it's almost like the same thing. You know, you're all bros and you're all there to entertain. And, you know, so I don't think there's a big, you know, it's basically the same thing, you know? Yeah, except one you wear tights and the other you don't. The other you wear camo shorts.
Depends on your band.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just so likable. That's what it is.
Maybe. I hope so.
Because like...
Unless you're a singer. Then
unless
you don't
you're
like
a singer.
What's like the wrestling equivalent of a singer? Is there like kind of a classic moody like position?
You're like a trope.
Yeah, like something like, oh, of course, fuck.
Maybe a good question.
I don't know.
Actually.
I was wondering.
I don't even know. As a fan, I don't even know what the answer is. Fuck, I don't know.
Like ring announcers or something, maybe.
Oh, all the ring announcers I know are super chipper,
super humble guys.
Yeah.
It's gotta be somebody.
That's a great fucking question. I don't actually. Maybe a really nasty booker.
Yeah.
That's just like the closest thing I could think of.
Jim Cornette.
That's right. Yeah.
Of course it'd be Cornette.
Yeah.
Fucking Cornette. Hilarious. So let's talk a little bit about WPW.
Yeah.
WPW, for those of you not using little euphemisms like us. WPW. Let's talk about Wise Pro Wrestling. How did this come about? What was the genesis of this? What made you say, okay, look, I'm gonna get involved in promotion, and I'm gonna, not only that, but I'm gonna also like take on all the responsibilities that come along with that. Like, what made you? Because a lot of that's a really daunting thing for most people.
Yeah.
So what made
stressful.
you feel that way? Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm one of those people that like if things aren't, and that was kind of one of the problems with music. Maybe like back in the day, if I would have chilled out, maybe Daggermouth would have lasted a bit longer. I don't know. Like I'm always one of those guys that's like, let's tour, let's go for this, let's go for that, let's go for that. And you know, the local company I was working for at the time, I just kind of felt was like getting stale, and it was just kind of the same show over and over. And you know, and I would always put in my 2 cents, like, well, if you guys are gonna poster, like, it's Vancouver, you got to pay the poster Nazi guy, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
You know, and they
Poster mob.
Yeah, the poster mob. You gotta give them hundreds of posters, you know, and they'd be like, "Oh, we gave them 40." It's like, well,
People
that's
don't
fucking dumb. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
You know, like I just got tired
posted
of.
over by tonight.
Like it just got to a point. Like I don't want to bad talk anyone or anything, right? It just literally got to a point where it was like, you get to a show and they'd be like, "Oh, how many friends are you bringing, Kenny?" And it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, if it's up to me to advertise, and it's up to me to." You know, and I was just wrestling the same guys year after year after year. Like, you could look at my last, you know, few years up at the venue at the last company. It was the same guys over and over and over.
Right.
And it just got boring, you know? It's like, to me, pro wrestling's a job, whether it's a fun job. you know, and it's cool to travel around and stuff. But it's like anything. If you're not challenged, you get bored.
I hear you.
And
Especially within your own like
Yeah.
local promotion, like your own local scene. Like you want to be doing something that's gonna
Yeah.
benefit the whole scene here.
yeah, and just coming from the punk rock background, like I'm a huge NoFX fan, right? And
Right,
I
right.
always look at like, you know, look at Fat Mike from Fat Records. He started his own label. He never, you know, I was just like, I just want to be the Fat Mike of local wrestling.
Yeah, man,
I'll
dude.
start my own shit.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll fucking, you know, advertise. And, you know, if it fails, it falls on my hands. But
I think
you
it's
know.
healthy. I think it's healthy to have as many like conduits and outlets for entertainment as possible. Like we're always encouraging people to do their own podcasts, and we're always saying like do your own show, like do your own thing. Like that's
Yeah.
like the more the merrier. Like the better everyone will be. If like you know there's more content to choose from and there's more avenues for that. I think the idea of having like another promotion in the region here,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like I don't know, I think it's great. That just is for a wrestling fan. I'm like, fuck, that's extra dates we can go to. Like
Yeah.
you know that's not as far between or few. You know, I don't know, or just in options. Like just like you know maybe this doesn't. Appeal to me as much as this does. This guy, you know, these guys are bringing guys from out of town, and this is this, and or these guys are bringing this. Like it just has like more of a flavor to it, and it's kind of more happening. Like I guess if you think about it from like an external perspective,
Yeah.
from I don't know, like an international perspective, people are like, well, what's going on in this scene? And it's like, oh well, there's this like one league, and they do this, and this is it. And it's like you got to know this guy to get in, and you got to do this, and like that seems pretty. Like a narrow bandwidth of like you know,
Yeah.
ideas that can go through that. But if you're like, oh, there's a couple things going on, just like comedy or anything like
Yeah.
that. If like you know, there's a couple comedy rooms in the city that are like this level of circuit, and then there's like you know, there's a few like open mics. There's quite a few of this. Like
Yeah.
it just offers more to the development of the scene because like you said, if you want to be the Fat Mike of that development, you need people that are going to want to carry on after you, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how can you do that if like there's only so many spots, there's only so much time in a show, there's only like it makes sense to have more shows, more
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, like I don't know, a year ago, because I work at the Wise Hall once in a while as a bouncer, and the guy Norm there, he runs like a burlesque troupe, and he was like, oh, we should do like a burlesque wrestling type thing,
Right.
And so we ended up doing a show called Glam Slam, and
Those go over really well.
Those glorious,
Yeah.
glorious
So
nights.
well,
Yeah.
I
man.
love them so much.
I've heard more positive stuff about those events than probably, and I mean this for like pretty much any entertainment I've heard in the city. I hear more positive things about the glam events than like, you know, in the last year at least. It's
Yeah.
so amazing. How
Oh,
many
that's
people come
awesome.
out to it. Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, there's another one, November 5th.
yeah, the 5th.
Yeah.
Can we plug that
Coming
with
up.
November 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Norm just announced it and stuff. But yeah, after seeing that, I was like, man, it's not that hard. Like, we're only doing 3 glam times a year. Why don't I do like 3 other wrestling shows a
Right.
year here? And you know, just kind of snowballed from there. And
that makes
you
sense.
know, yeah,
Well, that's cool.
I'm gonna sneak out on you.
Sure. So you mentioned Ring of Honor.
yeah.
And you know you've been working with them for a little bit now.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Well, a
I'm
little
kinda,
bit, right?
Yeah.
But like, why don't you like just tell me a little bit about this? Because we had El Phantasmo on the show.
Yeah.
And you know LP's like such a good guy.
Yeah,
Such a
yeah.
good guy. And we had beautiful Billy Suede, really good guys, really awesome guys. LP told us this story about when he had like a tryout with ROH and with Ring of Honor and how. I'm trying to recall this properly, so if I'm not doing this right, sorry,
Yeah.
LP, sorry Riley, but basically he was trying to go across the border.
Yeah. Well, I think
oh,
he was going to go across the border and try to live in St. Louis with Kyle.
That's right.
I don't know if he had any tryouts or anything,
Right.
but I think he was
Yeah.
trying to move his
But-
whole life down there.
But like
yeah.
just to be exposed in that area, it's just what we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
where like you can't even have that opportunity unless you are in the area. You want to try it out. What's happening in that area? Is this possible? Blah blah blah. That kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's just the same thing. Like the conduits open up. But anyway, so he was telling us that story, and I started thinking about like what other kind of stories can we talk about? Similar to this. Like, and I'd be really curious to hear your side of this stuff, like just from your own experiences, what's gone on especially recently.
What do you mean? Like
just what's what? I'm not feeling very well.
No,
so
that's okay.
No, I think like maybe like obviously that was a challenge like for LP to get across the border and it kind of fucked him up.
Yeah, I mean, not even so much like that's I'm more like just your own personal experience interacting with Ring of Honor and like how I don't know. I'm not putting this together right.
Just how
This is like,
how it came to fruition.
Kenny Lush. This is a goddamn ground ball to fucking center field, and I fumbled it. Playoff game.
I could completely not be understanding you either.
That's okay.
I am an idiot.
Just tell me what's going on in your life right now, Kenny Lush.
Oh, well, the Ring of Honor stuff's all through, a couple, man, when was it? Maybe...
By the way, Mike literally left the room, and by the time he came back, we had accomplished zero.
The question was still not asked.
But his bladder is now empty, so that's all that matters.
So what did I miss?
Yeah.
Zero. Like, just me fumbling.
Does that come through with like anybody that you've wrestled like out here, or because I know you've brought in like Dalton Castle and like Joey Ryan and like all those guys. Like, has any of that like played any part in you getting to go like? Because I know you were just down in California as well.
Yeah.
So is that like opening more doors with the people you're bringing into Wise Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, maybe a year and a half ago or something like that, my buddy Kyle O'Reilly was like, hey, you should come on this little road trip as opposed to having him fly me. I'll, hop in a car and we can just chill, hang out and hit these towns up and you can just meet the guys and blah, blah, blah. And so I went out there and did that and got a dark match, like a pre-TV taping match in Toronto, and that went pretty good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then, it's like anything. You got to keep showing your face. Like earlier in the year, I did, they do like these tryouts.
Okay.
Like these 2-day tryout things. So I went down there and did the tryout, and, that was fun. And then, I went back on the road, and they used me again in Toronto in May, and then I was just in Vegas for them. So,
cool.
And through that, you're meeting all the guys, you're hanging out, having some drinks after with them and stuff. And
right,
sure.
A lot of people, it's amazing. Everyone's always like, I want to go to Vancouver. I hear it's beautiful. Like, and so many people want to come in and check the city out. So like with Dalton, I was just like, man, come on out and stay an extra day. I'll
chill out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you to the aquarium. And, so we did that and took him to like Stanley Park and English Bay and stuff like that. So he had a great time.
Yeah, I've always wondered that, like, because I imagine like with Vancouver, it's such a, it's Vancouver. It's an amazing city to be in, and like wrestlers,
it's a postcard,
especially with like a lot of other like the big like. Obviously, with like the WWE, they don't come here to do any of their tapings anymore or do anything like that.
Yeah, and they weren't even really
no
like
shows, no nothing like that. So like you never see like the bigger, even independent stars like come in very seldomly. Like when they do, like it seems like it's almost an event now. Like when those guys come through.
Yeah, like I remember, like I've wrestled locally for years, and like I know Michelle Starr in ECC or in All Star Wrestling. He brings in guys, but they're more like like ex-WWE type guys and stuff like that. Not
or like the like on the older end of like the spectrum of talent, right?
Yeah, so it's like no one in the Vancouver scene was really bringing out any names or any like indie guys and stuff like that. So it's cool to be able to bring them out, and it's awesome too because like you see like companies like New Japan and Ring of Honor, like they have a fan base in Vancouver that I don't think a lot of the promoters realize they do, and like.
Hasn't been tapped into like whatsoever. Like, and when people they just get jacked like to see like these guys. Like, it's been amazing.
I just announced like the guys I'm bringing in for the December 3rd show, and people are
just losing my shit.
Yeah. People are stoked.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. And for those who don't know, it's Roppongi Vice.
Yeah, Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero.
Exciting. Yeah. So exciting to watch them.
And that was the same thing. Rocky's just like, I'm like, what are you doing December 3rd? This was in Vegas a few months ago, and he's like, nothing. I'm like, you want to come up to Vancouver? And he's like, oh man, I've always wanted to wrestle up there and see it, like, because he does some acting and stuff too, and that,
right?
So he knows all about Vancouver and stuff. So it'll be good to get him up here, and
that's super sweet, man. Yeah, looking forward to that quite a bit.
As of right now, they're the current New Japan
junior tag team champions, I think, or something like that.
Are they? Or I think maybe the Young Bucks might be again.
Yeah, they are.
Young Bucks are champions of everything.
They are. It seems that way. Yeah.
It's just I saw like the photo of them holding like the 6 belts up the other day.
Yeah.
It's like, awesome. There they are.
What's this? I just saw this as I typed in Roppongi Vice. It says, Roppongi Vice tag team drops hilarious album. 10-track album. What the fuck?
Oh, Rocky Rivera is like a musician. He makes his own entrance music and stuff. It's awesome.
They dropped a 10-track album on Bandcamp overnight. The song devoted to Chuck Taylor's career as a standout amazing song. What the fuck? Yeah, the album is called 6 Trees Vice.
Yeah.
Nice. It features cameos from MVP and Nakamura. That's fucking, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a song dedicated to Shinsuke. That's hilarious.
You want to hear a funny story about Dalton Castle?
I would love to.
Please, perfect. By the way, that ground ball earlier, this is kind of what I was getting at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just looking for funny stories.
Yeah, I couldn't enunciate.
Okay. Well, we put him up at the Waldorf, which is the same place like I put Joey Ryan up when he was in town earlier in the year. You know, it's a okay hotel. It's close to the venues, blah, blah, blah. So I was in Australia a couple weekends ago, well, maybe a month ago for a little trip. And I get this message from Tom. And he goes, dude, what the fuck? The Waldorf charged me $400. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, they're saying Dalton Castle stole a TV. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I guess the Waldorf, when you check out, this is all allegedly, in case there's any lawsuits. Allegedly. I learned that by, I'll tell you another story about Nickelback and me not using the word allegedly.
Oh, Jesus.
But,
Brilliant.
yeah. So this is all allegedly. So they said he stole a TV. So we're like, what the fuck? So Tom calls the manager up and the guy's like, yep, you whoever was there stole a TV, blah, blah, blah. And so I talked to Dalton, and he said, I guess there's no one that works the front desk at the Waldorf between like 10 and 6 or 10,
allegedly.
Allegedly like 12 to 8 or something like that.
Okay.
And they told him, when you check out, just put the key under the desk, like underneath the little shelf thing. And so when Dalton, it's East Van.
He checked himself out.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
basically, he put the key down there because he had like a 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, there was some weird looking dude though sleeping on the couch in the lobby. So I didn't know, Anyways, make long story short, I guess weird looking dude went up, took a TV, and then they filed, like Waldorf decides not to call any of us whose names are on file just to charge us $400. Like, let's not get to the bottom of the story. They made a police report, and we called the cops, and the cops were like, well, they have no proof. Like,
yeah.
And so I went to the Waldorf when I got back from Australia, and I was like, well, I see you have cameras right there. Can you just show me proof, and I'll happily pay you the $400. Oh, well, the image is only saved for 6 days. And I'm like, well, you didn't save the image of a guy stealing a TV?
Yeah,
What?
no kidding.
Yeah. And they're like, nope. So you owe us $400. And we're like, no, we ain't going to pay you guys.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Yeah, that's weird.
Shady as fuck.
At best shady.
Yeah. So
yeah.
fuck you, Waldorf.
What the
Allegedly.
fuck? By the way,
Allegedly.
I was going to say, it'd be kind of crazy just to picture, like, Dalton Castle with a TV.
Like stealing a television.
Yeah, he's just like walking. He's like, "Oh, that was a fun weekend." I'm just like,
I'm gonna steal this like fucking piece of shit
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
Waldorf
And then
wall.
bring it on a plane.
yeah, that's
Fuck,
it.
but the game plan is
like,
pretty loose.
Can I check this? Is this okay?
That's
They're
what
like,
the guy
yeah.
said, the manager at the Waldorf. I was like, why would he was going to the airport. Well, it's a small TV. He could easily bring it on the airplane.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
Okay, thanks for rationalizing this.
Yeah.
He took 2 shower caps and 1 television.
Yeah. Dude, you're never getting this $400. I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
There's no way. I've tried to be cool about this.
So I think Visa had to step in and
Yeah,
fight for our right.
Visa.
Yeah, Visa.
Yeah, they're the real gangsters.
That's a shitty policy though. Like, you don't have someone at the desk, but yet, like, this can't be an isolated incident.
No,
Yeah,
sure.
I
This is
don't
probably
feel
that
like
guy's
that's
move.
happened.
Especially
this
the guy.
guy's move.
Okay, the guy on the couch. That means he had this.
It's not the first time he stole a TV
for sure.
from
Like,
there.
first of all, he had to scout it out enough that he could catch a nap, right? And then he was also like so muffed that he was like. He's like, oh yeah, they always leave the key, and then I go try every door with the key until it's the one, and then that's my TV for the day. Like, go fuck
Well, he heads right to
yourself,
the pawn shop, I assume.
dude. This whole thing is gross.
Yeah.
Kenny Lush.
Sickens me.
Fucking so gross.
Love
Tell me
it.
about your goddamn Nickelback story.
Oh, so allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Double allegedly.
Yeah. This one got me in a lot of trouble.
If this show had episode names, this one would be called Allegedly. That's what or Ground Ball.
Yeah, back when Daggermouth was going way back in the day, 2006 or something. Remember when Chad Kroeger allegedly, actually, I think he was charged for it. So I don't know.
Kicked
Maybe
the shit out of Matthew Good.
no, but he got
Allegedly?
caught, allegedly was drunk driving or something like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So-
In his Lamborghini.
I
Yeah,
think he was convicted of that.
Yeah.
Should we look this up while you talk about this? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I
Allegedly.
decided to back in the day on MySpace. I MySpace
Classic.
his record label and I was like, all setting a great. I was drunk or something. I talk shit because that's what I do. I talk mad shit. And next thing you know,
he was convicted
Oh.
in 2008. Just heads up.
yeah. So it's not allegedly,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
His sentence was $600 fine and no driving for a year.
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was 2008.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay. Go ahead.
But so next thing you know, his label writes back and MySpaces me back, and he's all like, "Go fuck yourself, you guys can't."
What?
Yeah, like the guy was like super harsh. So I took his response and just posted on the Daggermouth MySpace, like, "Oh, so if you disapprove of drunk driving," that's just stirring the pot, right?
Yeah.
If you disapprove of drunk driving, write these guys a message. And I guess at the time, like, they got like 2,000 emails or something.
Yeah.
And like they were super choked at me. So next thing you know, like our MySpace got taken down and we had to do and all this. If I said allegedly was drunk driving,
Yeah.
they couldn't have done anything, but we had to go do a little libel slander.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
It's just a little light casual slander. It's fine.
Yeah. But nowadays, now that I'm, have a wife and my rent's expensive, Nickelback, you need an opening band. Hit me up.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Let's bury these hatchets.
Yeah.
The reconciliation tour.
Yeah. This is how you remind me.
Forgiveness.
Are they still touring?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why would
they,
they not
are
be?
you
I don't
kidding
know.
me? They're probably one of the highest grossing bands in North America. They make stupid money. They make so much. They're the kind of group, for some reason, everyone seems to hate them, but everyone has a copy of their album. And I don't mean everyone here. I just mean like, think about it. Someone has a copy of that album, one of their albums. Someone likes that. Never made it as a wise man. So everyone has that goddamn download. Everyone has
Like a paperback novel.
like a paperback novel. Look at this photograph. Everyone has the one there. It's just like, I like your pants around your ankles, or wherever the fuck it goes.
I don't think it goes like that.
Everyone has the one that's like, I like to be a rock star.
Yeah, Rockstar.
Like, look, we were able just to like casually, pantomime like what?
Yeah, one of the
six
biggest
songs?
bands of all time,
Yeah,
of course.
Pretty
Yeah.
easy. Like if you have that many recognizable songs, you should be paid. I think.
Avril
Yeah, for
Lavigne
sure.
and Chad Kroeger broke up.
Yeah, not before he sired a child with her though, right?
No, she's a mom?
Sired
Pretty confident.
child?
Should we look this
Yeah,
up?
look that up.
Fuck
There's
says
you know what's
that?
really funny is
says that?
there's a lot of sired. there's a lot of
They're not nobility. Like,
he had prima nocta with
Jesus.
no, the thing that I find funny right now as I look this up is that there's a lot of like half truths and like rumor that we're all like, yeah, didn't he? Yeah, we like all know like one or two stories. Okay, hold on. Avril, you say they're divorced allegedly, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. By the way, the top thing that came up for Google when I was typing this in said age difference. Oh, Avril Lavigne, Chad Kroeger, age difference.
people want to know.
As of
It's a weird
September
hive mind thing.
2nd, 2015, Avril Lavigne, Chad Kroeger split after 2 years of marriage. Now, I said there's a child. Let's look at
A
this.
siring.
Child.
There's no
I feel weird talking about
There's
some
definitely
kid
no
out there.
child.
I don't think there's a baby. Well, she looks pretty pregnant. Nah, this is a
All
great
right.
episode,
All
by the way.
right.
Now you're body shaming.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's enough.
All right.
Love you, Avril.
Why'd you have to be so complicated? Okay.
Don't.
So I I personally feel like it's weird that we have like this, like, when I was younger, the idea of like these people we're talking about, it felt like these like mythical, people, legendary people that you just don't really interact with. And then like the more we like navigate through this entertainment industry and the more we get to know people and just develop these relationships, it's like everyone's, kind of like 1 or 2 degrees, 3 degrees separation away from each other. Right. So I've always just found it weird how it's like, it kind of just turns into high school after a while. It's like, yeah, I know them. I was in their class or something like that's weird. Like you have like you have a direct interaction story from like a couple of years ago. That's just like, that's weird. Like that, it's weird to find that stuff out over time. This might just be the cold medicine talk.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, even with people that we've had in the past on the show, like like we had Jesse Laborde on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I know you're.
Yeah, he was sick. Probably gave me that sickness.
I'm pretty sure I was the culprit in that.
Oh no!
But like even our friend Russian Tim.
Oh, yeah. Russian Tim,
one of our tightest friends. Yeah,
Russian Tim's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw him on Saturday.
Yeah,
were you out at was it the Ramon show or whatever?
Yeah, I was bouncing the rickshaw that night. So.
Yeah, we fucking love Russian Tim. But yeah, like it just feels like it's just the scene is.
It's always small here in Vancouver. Yeah. It's a big city, but it's small in so many aspects.
So small.
Yeah,
I think I'd be remiss right now if we didn't plug the next WPW show as hard as we can right now. Let's do this.
Well, this Saturday.
This
freaking Saturday, October 22nd.
I'm gonna try and get this out in the next 24 hours. We're recording on the Monday, so I'm trying to get this out by Wednesday.
Okay.
So let's run these details down. Fuck, I got nothing in front of me. Hold on.
Hell on Hastings.
Hell on Hastings.
Cannot wait. Main card is stacked. The 3 main events. Triple main event, right? Is that how you're billing it this go around?
Got Joey Ryan versus Xavier Galaxy versus Colin Cutler, the Cougar Meat Kid, in a 3-way dance.
Cougar Meat Kid.
King of the Dong style, son.
King of Dong style makes his return to Vancouver.
That honestly was one of my favorite matches that I've watched you wrestle in ever. I was laughing so hard repeatedly and just like enjoying myself. I love that guy. Like he's so funny.
If you guys if you guys are at home right now and you want to be entertained right away, like immediately, just go ahead and Google King of Dong style.
Look at his YouPorn celebration of his birthday or whatever that was. I saw that video. It's so fucking funny.
It's fucking amazing. It's really good.
He is excellent.
He'll be in the house. We also have Japanese deathmatch legend Leatherface, featuring our very own guest today, Kenny Lush. Let's talk a little bit about this. So, 10,000 thumbtacks in a death match. That's what your weekend is going to be like. Right?
Yeah.
So let's just talk about that for a second.
Good weekend. On Friday for All-Star Wrestling in Cloverdale at the Alice McKay building, I got to wrestle. I have to wrestle Joey Ryan, and so I wrestle the King of Dong style. And then the next night I do a Japanese death match.
Damn.
My life is fucked.
God.
That's a weird weekend.
Yeah.
That's a powerful notion.
You're like, can't wait for Sunday. You're like, ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Sunday's Walking Dead. So
okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who do you, we can talk about this right now, right? Who do you think who do you think Negan killed?
I think he killed, Who's that guy with the flat top, the big white guy? That's what's his name?
The guy who this is a lot of spoilers for people if you're watching.
Jeez, it's not even a spoiler tag.
Walking Dead. If you're watching Walking Dead, turn it off right now or pause it or skip ahead or something. But I think his name.
It's not a spoiler. We don't actually know. This is all
speculation. Yeah, but to get to our speculation, we have to identify someone who I was gonna say. Oh, the guy who faked the fucking knowledge about the cure. That guy? That's what you're talking about?
No, not that guy. The
so you're talking about Abraham?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The kind of like
it's presidential. Dude. Yeah, it's like Jefferson. Something
Yeah.
like that. His name's fucking presidential. Yeah.
I think he does it. It's not going to be Glenn or anyone big, I don't think.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, that's
apparently
the comic book death.
That's the comic book.
That's the comic book death. But
They've not.
You got to
stuck
think
the
this shit
comic
in
at all.
like
Yeah.
simple pro wrestling psychology terms.
Okay.
They already blew their load with with thinking they killed them off earlier, right?
Right.
So now if they kill them off now, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. So you can't do that.
It's Norman Reedus.
That's a good guy.
No, it's not going to be that guy because he's he's
Dude, I'm thinking like
once his contract's
might
up and he
be.
leaves the show. No, man,
Show's over.
The show's over once he
yeah,
leaves.
but it might be like it
gonna
might be
kill Carl?
Daryl. Like Matt, if they kill Carl, which they
Coral.
Coral, if they kill Coral, they're definitely like that's a pretty avant-garde step, right? Like they almost had him raped that one scene. Remember the one episode? Like it was the season prior to that. The guy was on top of him was like, "I'm gonna have you" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's
Some
kind of
deliverance type shit.
Yeah, they're like, what? Yeah, exactly. Some weird like, oh, you got a pretty mouth for a kid. You're like, that's weird to fucking say, you know. So like they already had that. They could kill him, beaten to bludgeoned to death in front of his dad. That might happen.
I think it could be Maggie too.
Yeah.
Like
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
That's my.
You're gonna go
solid
with
guess.
Maggie?
I'd go with Maggie.
Yeah.
That way, it still ties in with the whole like
Glenn
Glenn
thing.
stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and it just went the other way.
and she's pregnant too. You don't want 2 kids on that show, you know.
I mean,
babies.
I mean,
Cut that off.
The 2 people were gonna die in that first episode, right?
yeah,
That's 2.
yeah.
Man,
1 stroke.
that is actually that's a good call. Okay, so if you guys
Harsh
are,
brutality.
you guys are riding the Maggie train.
Yeah, if I had to put money on it, I'll bet Maggie.
I'm gonna fucking just go all in on Daryl. I'm gonna
Rick.
just say like,
Aw.
yeah, imagine Rick.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest swerve of
Yeah.
all fucking time, wouldn't it? If Rick is the one that died, especially all these like
Then
pre
right
little
up-
featurettes they're doing.
Right
Yeah.
after on like the Talking Dead or whatever, Chris Hardwick's just like, well, this is the last season of The Walking
Yeah.
Dead. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
what?
Exactly. Like they just announce it like, oh, tune in. That'd be a huge swerve though if it's Rick.
Is
I'd
it the
actually
last
be
season?
impressed.
No.
Would that impress you a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's going to get his hand cut off though. I think
That
he'll
was
do
supposed to happen.
Waiting
Yeah.
for that for years.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get the Jamie Lannister treatment. Is that what's gonna happen?
Is The Walking Dead? Is there going to be like? Is there an end in sight for that show? It
No,
seems like it's been
and
going
it's-
on forever.
And it's one of those shows where, like, even if
6
like
seasons,
the major cast is all killed off, you can kind of keep it going and going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've never caught the one they shoot out here. What's
Fear.
Yeah,
oh,
Fear.
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird because like you want on The Walking Dead, you want those people to live. Like that, you know, you cheer for them. Fear the Walking Dead is like I want those people to die. Like I've only seen the
Wow.
first episode, but the kids are annoying as fuck. The mom's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like
you know
The
the
show's just not like.
yeah,
it's
and the
not
zombies
as
are like
great.
shittier. You know, the budget isn't all there, so it's like
really. It's
Yeah.
like, see, I haven't seen an episode of it yet, but yeah, I have heard mixed things about it. You know what's
If you really like The Walking Dead, like you watch this and you'd be like, nah.
really okay?
yeah.
So what is it like? It's like the Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
It's
spin off the
it's
Stargate?
the Sequest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Of the,
the Stargate Atlantis of fucking
Yeah,
Stargates.
exactly.
They film all those out here too. I'm pretty sure they did that.
I think so. Yeah.
The fucking the Sequest.
We shouldn't shit it 'cause it's probably. We must know at least one person that was probably.
Yeah,
hired.
you're just talking about degrees. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some.
All my acting friends right now. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, there's some guy.
I'm on set next week.
There's some guy that's like, "How dare you? I fucking answered your call and everything. Now I'm never answering your call." I'm like, "Great, it's great." Yeah, that's tricky though. How is it we can have a show about the entertainment industry and not step on a few toes eventually?
Exactly.
How are we supposed
it's
to
gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how are we supposed to
Bound to.
operate in any kind of capacity that makes logical sense? Because like if you're watching this at home, God love you. You're doing.
Thank you.
You're doing good work.
The Lord's work.
That. You're doing the Lord's work. We appreciate that. But if you're tuning in because like of a particular guest, maybe the magnificent loose cannon Kenny Lush right here. If you're tuning in for that, obviously there's going to be stuff you want us to ask him that maybe you don't get to ask him in person, and maybe we can use this angle to like ask him that stuff. So I was thinking.
I was fielded a question today
You okay? What was
for
it?
you.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Shoot.
Off of my one friend of the show as well, Mr. Steve Kitchen, who does
Oh, friend of the show.
Kitchen.
beer labels for Parallel 49 and
Oh, okay.
all the art for a lot of
Yeah, he does all the
band posters around town
Oh,
as
nice.
well. One day I was actually at I think it was the first Glam Slam. Yes. first Glam Slam. You came by us in the crowd and you smashed the dude with his blue buck that he had just like purchased.
Oh, shit.
You come by and grabbed his beer, just like smashed it over Buddy's head. And I laughed. I've been laughing about it for 8 or 9 months or a year now, I guess. But he was asking me a full-on old-school wrestling question where if you were a captain of a Survivor Series team, who your tag team partners could be. And he was like, anybody. He's like, anybody from any
era.
any walking era
Good
of
question,
wrestling.
Steve
He
Kitchen.
just wanted to know who you would want to have
How
on
many-
your 5-man squad.
So I have to pick 4
you're the-
dudes?
Yeah, you're the captain.
And you're captain.
Could be girls.
I'd have to do Mick Foley as Cactus Jack for one of them.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
You know, maybe the Macho Man.
It's also a fantastic second pick.
Yeah.
Just ready to shit all over one of his picks. Yeah, right. Those of you pick him. Just jump all over his third pick. We're like, whoa, it's not even good. Like, dude, it's his pick. Like, let him pick what he wants.
I'd have to choose Kyle O'Reilly in there.
Here we
Right
go.
Because he's my bud.
Here we go.
And he's a fucking ass kicker.
He is.
So I need one more dude, right? Oh man, this is a hard question. So Kyle, Cactus Jack, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Kenny Lush, and
Anchored by.
Yeah,
Who's the anchor?
we need a high flyer in
Yeah.
there. So I don't know, maybe like throw Ricochet in there or something.
Okay.
You know, just
Here we
to
fucking go.
Yeah,
Yes. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic answer.
yeah.
He's like, that was a good answer. Just for supplemental question.
Follow up.
If you could choose your opponent captain, who would the captain of the opponent's team be?
Oh man, it doesn't matter because they're going down.
That's right.
Go with that team. How are they
Yeah,
gonna-
I mean,
how?
never has a team ever been assembled before that A, makes sense, and B, it was like just unstoppable like
Yeah.
that. Like they're pretty.
I don't know if I can pick anyone. I'll throw Stan Hansen. I'll lock up
Just-
there.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
I
Take
would-
massive lariats for the whole match.
That's right. I would love to see the angle, the program that would develop that. That would make that to settle it at Survivor Series.
Be like a sweet Quantum Leap episode or something. All these different people. Ziggy, what's the chance K. Lush beats Stan Hansen? Not good.
Guess what? You can't leap until Okay, let me ask you this: quantum leap or
Yeah.
sliders?
Oh, I've never even seen Sliders. Quantum Leap.
Why
awesome.
you never seen sliders?
No.
Sliders is great.
Yeah, sliders is pretty good. You've never seen sliders?
No.
You know the fat kid from The Stand?
Yeah.
Yeah. He grew up to be that guy.
Oh, okay.
Also, I think it's the guy from the My Secret Identity.
Is
Isn't
it?
it?
From
Isn't
the fight thing that we were talking about before?
No. What's that guy? What's the lead guy?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Sliders
Jerry
is-
O'Connell.
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
He's a he had a bit of poundage on him.
Yeah.
And when I think Richard Dreyfuss narrated his life for a little bit there in that film. And then he grew up to be that guy. And then he married Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, not bad.
Is that true?
Just say it.
Just said it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Kitty Lush is like, so glad I came down here. You guys are so well researched.
Sliders is sweet. I haven't seen Quantum Leap though.
The first time I ever tried mushrooms was on tour. We played Winnipeg and we had like a day off, and then we're in Toronto. So that's like a 24-hour drive or something, right? So you had to just
Big
haul
time.
ass.
I'm from that area in the northwestern Ontario. So
like Sudbury or something.
no, like
or-
Kenora, like outside
Oh,
Winnipeg.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Shit town.
that fucking run,
yeah, it sucks.
it's tough. It's a
There's
tough
like-
run. It's actually 29 hours straight from Kenora to Ottawa.
Yeah, and there's fucking
Hard-
deer all
hard.
over the road. and shit
Dude,
like
it's
that.
nightmare drive. Nightmare.
I remember, like, our drummer Dan Don. He was a bit of a he just says the most random shit that comes to his head. And we were driving, and there's deer everywhere all over that highway, and he just goes, "You know what? Deers are like the hipsters of the forest. Think about it. They just hang out, don't give a fuck." They don't. It's just the most random thing.
And they never learn. They never fucking learn. By the way, I looked it up. Jerry O'Connell definitely married Rebecca Romaine.
I'm glad we sorted that out.
Stamos. Is it just Remain now though?
Yeah, I think so.
Because of the Stamos.
Yeah, but you might want the Stamos now that Full House is killing it on
That's
fucking
right.
Netflix. Fuller House.
Oh, really?
It is crazy.
Interesting.
Joey Ryan was in that episode of Fuller House where they wrestled at the Lucha show. He was one of the guys in it.
What?
There's a Lucha episode of Fuller House.
Yeah, have you not seen it?
No.
I might check this out now.
Now
I gotta admit,
I'm going to watch it.
He's
God
under a
damn
mask
it.
and stuff, I believe. But yeah, he's one of the guys doing the. Yeah, I guess Candace Cameron or whatever. Candace Cameron Bure actually learned how to wrestle
What?
for it. Yeah,
she's
did her
taking
own
bumps.
stunts.
She learned how to take bumps.
Yeah, so,
Hold
yeah.
the fucking phone.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm gonna Google this and see if this comes up with anything. Sliders wrestling episode.
No.
Is that
no, it was a Fuller House.
I
Fuller
know
House.
that. I'm trying to
There's
add.
there's no Sliders wrestling episode.
You don't know
think there
that,
is. I
and
don't
I don't
think
know
there
that
Guarantee
until we
you
look
there is
this
not.
up.
They had shit with dinosaurs and stuff.
I know Kenny Lister's referring to Fuller House.
That was medium embarrassing.
I know that.
It was okay.
I've never seen it. I gotta check it out.
It's you know the guy that
It's got a
played,
cool premise.
Yeah, you know the guy that played
is
Gimli
Quantum
in
Leap.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, yeah.
But before that,
He's like this
Quantum Leap.
crazy scientist, and him and like Jerry O'Connell, and they all get sucked through this sliders thing. It's basically Quantum Leap. The more you explain it, basically
It is.
it is
There's
basically
no-
seriously
or
very
is
little
Quantum
to
Leap
it.
sliders?
Yeah, it's like Quantum Leap where they jump into that. But basically, every episode is like a new dimension. But it's like they're trying to get back home, and every time they slide to another dimension, it's like something totally different. Where like everyone walks on their hands, or Britain won the Revolutionary War. Stuff
This
like
sounds totally. This is bullshit. This is Quantum Leap
that.
ripoff.
Dude, it's
Well, hold on.
pretty
When did
funny,
Quantum
like-
Leap come out?
Let's look this up. All right. Jeez, this is such a well.
I was gonna say like
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, the first time I ever tried mushrooms was on that drive from Winnipeg to Toronto. We did it all
Yeah.
night, and I did mushrooms and watched like 2 full seasons of Quantum Leap in the back of a van.
how was that?
Changed my life.
Yeah, no kidding.
All the
kidding.
deer
Awesome.
fucking popping out everywhere
Yeah.
too.
Oh my god.
A real shit show.
Oh my god. Quantum Leap. So sorry, sliders. I looked that up first because gotta know where to start.
It's like mid '90s.
Yeah,
Late
it was
90s.
it was on when like fucking Hercules and Xeno were.
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is Quantum Leap old?
Quantum Leap is old. Quantum Leap's
Oh.
like what, like late 80s?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The
All
guy-
right. All right.
the guy
Yeah,
ended up
mid to late '80s. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
he ended up
Okay.
becoming the captain of the Enterprise. Then the prequel. What's his name? The guy. From
Oh
Quantum Leap.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
don't-
I
Oh,
can't remember.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How I know that, I don't know.
That's a great. It's a crazy name.
Shroom knowledge
It's
right
the
there.
shroom knowledge. Just burned into your head.
Scott-
Watch them credits forever.
Former scientist Sam Beckett finds himself trapped in time. Dude, this is exactly okay. I'm going to read this to you.
Well-
Former scientist Sam Beckett finds himself
Not
trapped in
necessary.
time due to an experiment gone awry, leaping into the body of a different
Awry.
person each week. Awry?
All right.
Awry.
Awry. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Sick.
All right.
That's
good.
enough.
We're good on
So
the-
we've
the
mispronounced
Quantum
a
Leap.
ride.
So that's it. Okay, but here's the synopsis of Sliders. This is going to be sad. Quinn Mallory has a problem. He's discovered a way to travel to other dimensions. So what's the issue? He can't get back home. Dude,
That's like
that's the exact. What the fuck? That's
see the difference between the two is like Quantum Leap would be filmed in Hollywood, Sliders would be filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Just
Definitely,
like
definitely.
Sliders is the Fear the Walking Dead of the Walking Dead.
very true.
They have some good tropes though. Like they'd always try to come back home. They thought they would think they were home, but like the gate. I don't know if you remember this show very well, but there's like the gate always squeaks in a certain way that they go through. And I remember they get home at one point,
Oh.
and then they close the gate to like it's the wrong
Oh, right.
wrong spot. Like
It's
we're
almost-
not
it's
home.
like-
It's just like everything can be slightly off.
yeah. It's like the anchor in Inception. You know, how he'd bring the what is like
The top.
The top. Yeah.
Was
he'd
it a
spin
dreidel or something?
Dreidel,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the proper
Yeah,
term.
basically,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. If you want to get
Jewish.
Accurate.
you want to get all Jewish on
Or
it.
accurate.
Yeah, trying to get all kosher on us. We can get, but yeah, like it's like the weird thing. I don't know.
I don't know if that happens in Quantum Leap or not.
Scott Bakula is a badass though.
Not an Enterprise.
No, I hated the Enterprise. I don't know if I didn't watch Enterprise.
I didn't watch Star
I've
Trek
watched
at
it.
all.
ever.
No, my dad watched Next Generation, but that was it.
Best Generation.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself watching that?
No, and still 2 songs. I don't know why. I was trying to think about this the other day. Like, it must be because it was bedtime when I was a kid. So that's why I hate the fucking theme songs. But the theme songs from Taxi and MASH
Oh,
drive
dude.
me up the fucking
I
wall.
love them.
Yo, we share this. We share this in
Suicide is Suicide is
Taxi
Painless
one,
is a
the
great
Taxi
song.
one just drove me mental.
Yeah, and I think it was because I had to go to bed when it was on or something. So
Which should really put things into perspective.
love the
like, think
MASH
about the
song.
idea that, like, because, like, when you would hear, like, you'd just be like, oh, God. Here it comes. And it's funny because, like, that show was syndicated for a long time, right?
MASH?
So just, like, as a kid,
Taxi.
like, you don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
this. No one knows this as a kid, like, but, like, to be syndicated that late after your show's been over for a while, it's like, obviously, it's a classic show and all this stuff, but it would come on, right, when kids would go to bed.
Yeah.
So you're right, like, it's associated with, like, oh, fuck that show. Or, like, yeah, MASH.
yeah. Yeah. Suicide is painless. The
Great
song's
song.
actually called Suicide
I
is
know,
Painless.
it's great.
Like, that's fucked up.
That's fucked.
That was
They never get to the lyrics in the show though.
Never. Never. That's really fucked up, though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's the most one of the most successful shows of all time.
Yeah.
I think the final episode had the most views. Yeah,
Yeah.
most watched
It's
views.
pretty sad.
Yeah.
Until the Friends ending, the Friends finale. I think.
I've never watched an episode of Friends.
I've watched
That
one
seems
episode of
impossible.
Friends. I've watched the.
Like I feel like Friends episodes happen to you,
That's weird.
like
'cause
whether
I-
you like it or not.
I watched like the moving one, like the pivot one. That's it. I've never seen
Oh.
more than like maybe
No.
2 or 3
Really?
tops. Yeah, I never watched it. It's just like I don't know. I didn't really have like an extensive cable package growing up.
Fair enough.
So I was
Kenora,
it's more into
you got
watching
Husky
deer
to
on the
Muskie,
highway.
Husky, the channel.
Husky, musky, husky. Yeah, stuff like that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you were first lacing up boots, first getting yourself into a mindset of like, hey, I'm gonna be a professional wrestler. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna figure out my way. In this industry.
1999.
1999.
Yeah.
When you were first doing that. Prior to that, do you remember the first time you were like, okay, I think I could do this. I think I could hold my own in there. These guys they're doing it. They're pretty good, but I think I could do my own way.
Yeah, like I remember the first time I saw like independent wrestling. Like my dad took me to WWF shows when I was a kid, and
Right.
all that stuff. But I remember the first time I saw independent wrestling, like at the old Eagles Hall in New West when Michelle Starr used to own ECCW. They'd run shows there, and it was awesome. But some of the guys on the show were like, I was like, even as like 17, 18 years old, I was like, I know right now I can do better than that.
Wow.
So
That's okay. That's pretty cool.
I picked it up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like I was wrestling after 3 months of training.
Where did you train?
I trained, it's now an apartment building, but it used to be called Saavedra's Boxing Club. It was on like Main and 2nd. And Rocket Randy Tyler had a like kind of set a
Right.
ring up there and trained. He was only around for maybe a year or something like that, but he trained a couple guys. I'm the only guy that's still dumb enough to still wrestle. but yeah, so he's the one that trained me. And after 3 months, it was every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something like that. And 3 hours each time. And after 3 months, he's like, yeah, basically know enough. Now you got to get in there and wrestle. So
Jesus.
yeah, he took me out to Oregon. I started wrestling out there.
Who was your first match against?
It was against Iron Mike Roselli, who was one of my trainers too, and it was a 3-way, which is super hard to pull off for your
First match?
Yeah,
What?
In the middle of nowhere. It was in Hermiston, Oregon, and it was Mike Roselli and Fade. And Fade now goes, well, his real name is Fraser Atchison, and he's like a big stunts guy. And
Okay.
yeah, he was in. You could see him on the bridge fighting. Not Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So he's killing it, like acting wise now. It's awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. How the fuck did you get like roped into doing a triple threat? Your first, like, weren't you like, I don't think. I thought we should start with like 1-on-1 or something.
It's the promoters just because I wasn't even booked on this. It was just like come out and we'll see what happens. And I think it was just like the promoter like you know, oh, we'll put this guy he brought in a match, but he has to go in there with you guys, and
Yeah.
you know.
Were you eager, or were you like?
Oh, super stoked.
Yeah,
And
like-
afterwards, I was like, oh man, that's the best match of all time. I'm sure it sucked. I never saw it, but I'm sure it was, I'm sure it was the shits.
I love it. Do you remember the finish?
Oh no, not even.
No.
I think I got power bombed or something like that. Or
When was the first time? Speaking of, we were talking about signature moves before you showed up.
Yeah.
Particularly your own move set that we were like, okay, we like, you know, a couple pieces we were pointing out. We were telling C-Mart how you're apt and prone to spitting in the air and then catching your own spit and then yelling at the crowd and telling them, you know, various aggressive platitudes. I'm trying to find the most scientific way to describe this.
the spit in the air thing, I'll admit, I ripped it off from Leatherface. You know, we're tag partners in Korea, and I'd see him do it in Korea. And I was like, oh, that got over really big. And, you know, I was like, oh, he'll never wrestle in Vancouver again. He's kind of retired. Now it's like, oh, now I'm going to...
I'm bringing a chainsaw and 10,000 thumbtacks.
Yeah.
You're done. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fine, I'll fight you for it.
Yeah. Fight for the right to spit in the air.
Hilarious.
So what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? Are you both gonna do it then?
Yeah,
Like,
will
on
he
your
do
next
it
time?
this
Nope.
will he do it this weekend?
I don't know. We got to see.
Oh, I got. Sorry,
Oh,
yo,
gotta-
spoilers. So obviously,
gotta see.
sorry,
That's a
how
little, that's a
dare
little
that?
trailer we just set up there. You'll have to see.
I was gonna
this
ask for a
Saturday.
predict. What do you think, Em? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think he's probably going to be incensed with rage when he sees that not only is Kenny Lush here
Stolen move.
that's right, not only is Kenny Lush here to fight him internationally, but he's also going to you know, he's going to fight him for the right to do that. I think it's going to happen. It's gonna,
Fight to right to spit in the air.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident about this now that I'm saying it out loud.
Yeah. Maybe he knows I ripped him off already, and that's why because this is his first match in Canada in like 12 years or something.
Wow.
Like that.
Right. Did he like? He's like he was semi like retired and then came back. Is that how that works?
Well, no, he's always just kind of like he's wrestled throughout the years in like Korea and Japan, and you know the odd stint in Mexico and stuff
Right.
like that. But
It's weird when other people put that tag on you when you're like, they're like, oh, he's an active wrestler, he's an active performer, he's doing all, you know, all these different things, and then there's like someone who comes out and is like, well, he hasn't wrestled in a bit, so maybe, you know, he's, and like people put those, like that happens in music all the time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
If you don't see a band perform for a while, they go, what are they doing? Well, they must be retired,
Yeah,
or
they're
something.
done. Yeah.
It's like, no, they're not. They're
Yeah.
doing their own thing, kind of.
yeah, he's still been busy though. He was he just fought, you know, maybe 6 months ago in Korea. He fought Bob Sapp, you know, the big giant MMA
Jesus
fighter.
Christ.
He fought him for the
a big boy.
WWE title belt.
So he went from Bob the Beast Sapp
Yeah.
to Kenny Loose Cannon Lush.
Bob Sapp.
That's a good step up. I
Yeah,
like that,
Bob
yeah.
Sapp's. I've done a few tours with him over in Korea. If you ever get a chance to have him on podcast, that dude has some fucking crazy
I bet he would have an
stories.
amazing
Yeah.
I know my first couple questions would be.
Yeah, if he ever comes over, yeah, we'd love if you'd set us up with that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He's yeah, man. I remember the first time I ever saw him fight was like him versus like Kino.
Oh, Chemo. The
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
the
like
Leopold, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, just I think he just goes. He's like Prince or Madonna now. He just goes by
Yeah,
Chemo now, whatever. But like he had just gotten Chemo had just gotten his like back piece and like all this stuff. So you're like watching this guy that looks like he's like a prison fighter,
Yeah.
versus like this behemoth of a man and Bob Sapp, and that was brutal. And that was the one where I think he broke Chemo's ribs in the final round or something like that. And I was like, oh my god, just imagine that. Like, how did you break your ribs on Bob Sapp's fists?
Yeah.
awful situation.
The thing is, Sapp was telling me too. He when he was pretty fucking broke when he got sent that contract. He thought he was going to Japan to do like pro wrestling.
Right.
He didn't know K1 and
Yeah,
Pride and stuff like that was like MMA. He
Like
thought
he-
he was pro wrestling.
Like a work, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's
That's
fucked
weird.
up, right?
Yeah.
But then you hear rumblings and rumors that a lot of those promotions may have actually been like kind of, you know, works kind of thing.
Yeah,
where-
but even now, like I know, like a lot of people. I've had this argument with people, and
Yeah.
they're all, you know, oh, it's just the pro wrestler in you, blah, blah. But promoters know, even in that style, like, you know, for instance, Conor McGregor, you know,
course.
if they want him to win, they'll feed him special guys.
It
you know, they'll
serves the promoter.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Narrative. Yeah.
And Bob even was telling me, I don't know if I should say this or not. Like, he was even telling me at one point he's heard stories of, like, you know, two guys are about to fight and the promoter will walk into the room and, you know, like, a lot of fighters will have their family fly over, to, you know, and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to alarm you, but I heard your something's happening on the flight that your family's on. Like, they'll try to fuck with fighters, like, to, you know, so it's not like set up in the way where it's like you win in the second round, but, like, you know, they'll fuck with guys.
It's implied, right? Or like
Allegedly.
things. Yeah, they'll like hold
Allegedly.
back one of your cutmen or something like that.
Yeah, something like
and you're
that.
like, where's
Yeah.
my guy? And like it just throws off the rhythm of your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that stuff too. I've heard just I've heard the exact opposite of that too. Like really greasy stuff where they'll go and tell the one guy, hey, look, you know,
It's not your night.
the other guy's going down in the second.
Yeah.
Right. So just go out there, lay it all out. You know, he's going down no matter what. So you can just play it safe in the first and he'll go down in the second. And then they go tell the other guy that like, hey, this guy is actually going down in the first for you. So like you can go out there and just roll him in the first or whatever.
Oh,
so,
shit.
So
Yeah,
he's
to
just
try
like,
to-
right. And so the other guy comes out tired in the second and goes down. And the other
Yeah.
guy he's especially the confidence that you have, like, oh, this guy's going down in the second, like that kind of stuff where they're literally playing both against each
Yeah.
other rather than, I don't know, just kind of thing. It's not so Ving Rhames in like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
That's 2 Pulp Fiction references in one episode, by the way. The $5 milkshake, and now we got Ving Rhames. You feel that? That's pride fucking with you. The game is filled to the brim with. Anyway, fuck. I have to ask this because
Ask anything.
a lot of people
give a fuck.
Okay, a lot of people don't ask this stuff, so I'm gonna ask the way.
Yeah.
You've had thumbtacks in matches before.
Yeah, I did one with Leatherface, like, oh man, years ago, like before the Daggermouth. I have 2 like separate eras of wrestling, like pre-Daggermouth and after Daggermouth.
Right.
And yeah, probably like 2002 or something. I did a thumbtack death match against him in Cloverdale.
Pretty rad life. Like, like so far so good.
Yeah, if
like,
I put it all into college as opposed to touring and wrestling, I'd be like a fucking doctor or something like that. Not living above crackheads on fucking Franklin Street. But.
Jesus. I was gonna say, fuck. The thumbtacks though, like people at home, you know, there's always the guys that are like, oh, they're worked. They're like, you know,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they're dull or whatever like that. But like they're like,
Trust me, Dull would suck more
that's
than
right.
I was gonna say, right? See,
It's like they're thumbtacks, right? Like people don't understand. Like you get a thumbtack in your foot, and people are like fall down, and it's the worst day they've ever had.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I've had like 10,000 thumbtacks. That's insane, man. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What is that? Can you just walk us through the first time you ever had that type of match? What was that like? What was the feeling going into it? Like were you trying it at first, like at the back? Like, how does this feel? Like 2 or 3 in the arm or something like that?
I
Or
don't
are you
know.
just like,
Like,
fuck it, I'm gonna go for it?
Back when I was a kid, it's just like, oh, if Mick Foley did it, I'm going to do it. You know? So like, it's
pretty good reason.
You know, and now you see him, and he's like, he can barely walk, and it's like, maybe that's not a guy I should have like
modeled my
style.
Yeah, 100%.
I should have been like the honky tonk man and just fucking, you know,
Shake your hips.
just shake my hips for fucking 80 years.
Sing and dance.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But, like on a pain scale though, I'm gonna ask.
Well, with adrenaline, you don't feel
don't
it.
feel it,
Yeah,
right?
like I've been knocked out, and you know, you kind of just get up. You don't feel it. Like I've been knocked silly a few times. And,
Really?
Yeah.
What was the nature of that? Like, how did you get knocked? Like, because getting knocked out is
I was diving from the top rope to the floor, and the guy, instead of like catching me, flaked out at the last minute and kind of moved and just kind of like grabbed my legs. So I kind of went douche.
ooh,
So yeah,
like face first almost.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded like a coconut hitting the floor. And
God.
it was funny because everyone was like, "Oh, you were out for like 2 minutes," but I swear I was just like, "No, man, I got back up and I." Like,
No, you look like you were dead.
yeah.
Wow.
That was at the old
crazy.
Russian Hall, yeah.
So it's like I've always heard like the actually going to the back and having them removed, like you're almost like taking them out singular, like at a time.
Yeah, like,
right?
what's that
That's
like?
probably the,
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of sucks. Adrenaline is your friend at that
Are we
moment.
like really
Yeah.
hyping you up for this weekend? We're like,
Yeah.
by the way,
By the way.
like the goal is to not have any thumbtacks, me gentlemen.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to win here.
Yeah,
Fucks.
exactly.
Is there ever a
Ain't going
thumbtack
in.
match with no thumbtacks on a person? Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like
I think people would want their money.
yeah,
back.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I just wonder like it would be such a shitty tease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
we saw
imagine.
at the last ballroom brawl when Plexus got slammed to the table.
Yeah.
So the table didn't break. And then he
Yeah.
just got slammed into the thumbtacks like a hard power bomb. And I was like, that looked terrible.
Yeah.
You want the
tough,
table to
right?
break there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's I mean, that's crazy. Like, there's, I mean, a lot of this stuff is like not even comprehensible to a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
like a lot of people listening have nothing to do with entertainment at all.
Yeah.
They have no rational reasoning for any
They
of this.
think I'm an idiot.
they think it's like strange as fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
like the idea, but like we respect the shit out of it. So I guess what I'm saying is like someone at home who's like hearing this, they go like, okay, like you're gonna get 10,000 thumbtacks in a match, but you know stuff can go wrong, like a table couldn't break or something like that. You know, all this stuff, and it makes people feel like, I don't know, like that's what makes you like a god, right? Like that's what the sale is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the spot is. Like we're trying to like let you guys know like how fucking impressive it is to take on the responsibility of booking all this shit and getting it all set up and having the promotion behind it, having the mind and the creative outlet to do that, and then B, also jump in the goddamn ring and like make it happen. Like you're gonna go do it all. Like that's fucking impressive.
Gets
man.
one of my idols, so you know.
That's right, yeah.
It'll be. I'm pretty looking forward to it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a good show.
Dude, I think we're all pretty fucking stoked.
yeah,
about
top
this.
to bottom. Should be great.
Yeah, man. Let's run down the details again one more time for Helen Hastings here. Let's go.
So we have our 3 main events.
Yeah, we got Xavier Galaxy, Cougar Meat Kid, Colin Cutler, and against Joey Ryan, the King of Dong style.
Yeah.
We got El Phantasmo versus Jeff Cobb, who's from Lucha Underground.
Mantanza.
Yeah,
Friend of the
Mantanza.
show, LP. Yep.
And me versus Leatherface. And we got 4 great matches in the undercard featuring Billy Swade and Randy Tyler,
Friend of the
some
show.
girls, and yeah, and the show sold out, so we're releasing 25 tickets at the door. So if you want to line up. But everyone's writing me saying, "Oh, do you have any tickets left?" No, I don't.
Nope.
December 3rd.
That's what we're gonna plug right now.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll tell you guys right now. It's going to be Kenny Lush and Billy Swade, the East Van Warriors versus Roppongi Vice from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh
And
shit.
we got a bunch of other names that we haven't announced yet, but I'll announce the first time anyone knows yet is Chelsea Green's coming back from TNA.
Yes,
Oh,
Chelsea,
shit.
awesome.
So,
That's,
yeah.
That's rad.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
Yeah.
Should put on that war there, the Wise Hall with Nicole there when her head hit the stairs.
Yeah,
right? That was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal
That
match.
was one of the best women's matches I think I've ever seen.
Me too. I was
Yeah.
so stoked on that.
Yeah,
Super
that was
stoked.
stiff.
Yeah. Poor girl. Such a pretty girl.
So pretty.
Yeah, but she's been killing it. She's one of those people that have like, you know, when she first came around, because she didn't. Everyone grows up watching wrestling that wants to become wrestlers. She kind of just got into it within the, you know, a few years before training, and you know, like a lot of people at first, were, you know, talk mad shit on her, but she's fucking killing it. She's working hard. She, you know, she's done a tour or 2 of Japan, and you know, she's fucking killing it. She earns
course,
it
yeah.
all. So
I think that's awesome, man.
yeah.
Dude, look at this. It's pretty, like, I mean, it's funny, you know, we have guests on and like we always are like, hey, let's promote this. Let's plug this. It's always a good sign when what we're plugging is already sold out. So I
Fuck
gotta
yeah.
say, we're on the right track here. And if you guys want to get involved, December 3rd, that is the next show. Don't sleep, ladies and gentlemen, because all you right now that wanted to go to Hell on Hastings, you all slept. You don't have tickets. If you want to line up, you might get one of the first 25 tickets released at the door.
You stupid fucks, buy tickets.
Stupid fucks. Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Kenny Lush, he's just I'm gonna try and throw some alliteration out there.
All right.
Killer Kenny Lush. All right, if you want to follow Kenny Lush, how can they do so, sir?
I'm on Facebook at Kenneth A. Lush. That's my real name. That's also my Twitter.
Is it
Kenneth A. Lush. Yeah.
Kenneth A. Lush? I know that. I follow you. I know.
I should have I don't know, because I got music and I post pictures of my chihuahuas and stuff. So I just keep it as my real name. You know?
Yeah.
I don't really have a fan page or anything. Someone made me one and gave me the password, but just add me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Kenny Lush. You're gonna have to change that in the future. Might have to have a conversation off air. Figure that out for you.
Really?
Get you a nice little thing going there. I think we could figure that out. You're making good moves. I think you need to have a hub that people can come and find everything out about you. Why not?
What I need is a pro wrestling tees store.
That's right. Yes. Yes, stepping it up.
Yeah,
I fucking
so they
agree. That's
Buy
right.
my fucking merch.
So you can get Dalton Castle shirts just like this one
Yeah.
here, or Kenny Lush shirts, or whatever kind of shirts you want,
Yeah.
right? Saavedra, how can people follow you online if they want to follow you?
You can follow me at the Saavedra on Twitter.
That's right.
Let's just do that one.
And C-Mart, how can people follow you if they're so inclined to follow you? Like if they want to
Just don't.
just
I wouldn't.
He's a hermit.
just I've been putting in the details now. I wouldn't bother, but I would.
Yeah.
I would look at this, and then I put the Boomsday Alliance Instagram.
nice.
That's what you want to say, right?
Yeah. Boomsday Lines.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow me, you can follow me at MD_Boomsday all across the board: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, wherever. And please follow us, the podcast. We're available
That's
on.
the one. Follow that one.
We're available
You're gonna follow
on
one.
Instagram. We're available on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher. We're on Soundcloud. We're everywhere you can find podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. We're all over the place. Go to intergalacticinterviews.com. You can also find past episodes there, previous episodes, and reach out to us if you want to get in touch with us about a guest idea, or maybe you just want to send us some feedback on the show, positive or negative. We love it all. Just let us know. You can always hit us up at intergalacticinterviews@gmail.com. Kenny Lush, you're a champion.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Maybe we could do it again with the band if it happens.
Of
Oh,
course.
hell yeah. Oh, hell
you-
yeah.
are
That's
you kidding
definitely
me?
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, don't tease me like that, because we will definitely have you all on. We'll make room for you all.
Yeah.
We'll make room.
We've had 4 people back there.
We've had 4 people on that side before, so it's okay.
Perfect.
Make that work. The thing I was going to say is I've mentioned this throughout the episode that I'm not feeling well, but when I am feeling better, I will give you a 20 out of 10 show, and I will give you the best I could possibly give you.
Oh, I thought you were good today. We had that little hiccup, but I blame his bladder more than anything.
Just had to go to the
Yes.
bathroom.
The minute
Just had
he
to
came
go to the
back, you.
Just so you know, that little hiccup will haunt me for the next.
It's
until
gonna
our next
bug you.
show.
It's gonna bug you.
for sure. That was, I was like, oh great, okay.
He gets easily bugged by shit like that.
Yeah, very easily.
Perfectionist. That's a good sign.
You're fucking awesome, and you're friend
Good
of the
luck
show.
this weekend,
Yeah,
man.
Thanks,
Good
man.
luck this
We're
weekend.
super fucking
you
stoked.
guys are all coming out?
Oh, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
1000%.
Yeah. I was gonna say one more thing just before we go is, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out WPW on Facebook, all their events. It's really important. Support local wrestling. It's fucking amazing, and Kenny Lush is doing it real big. We love it.
You got a fan right behind you right now.
Right there. Yeah, look at this guy. Got a little-
Look at this guy. Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right, Kenny Lush, you're the best.
Thanks, man.
See you guys soon.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.